Every night I pass yellow windows, glowing warm, and for one dangerous second, I forget the alley smell on my fur and imagine belonging inside. Inside, bowls touch softly, chairs scrape, laughter rises, and steam floats upward, sounding like a language made for creatures who already know where home is. Outside, I have rainwater, narrow shadows, restless tires, and the sharp habit of choosing corners where no one notices me long enough to be cruel. People think a stray cat hunts only food, but hunger is not the only thing that claws at me when the night turns colder. Fish can quiet my stomach for an hour, yet the emptiness I carry lives deeper, in the place that waits to be welcomed. I do not stare at bright homes because I am greedy. I stare because warmth looks like proof that somewhere, safety can last. When soup scents drift into the street, I stop walking, not to beg, but to imagine a life where stopping never costs me fear. The softest thing I know is not a blanket, but the brief patch of window light that reaches the pavement before somebody closes curtains. I have slept under cars so often that dripping metal feels familiar. Yet every warm doorway still hurts me with impossible hope. Hope is dangerous for creatures like me, because hope makes your paws move closer before memory reminds you how quickly kindness can turn. Once, a cooking smell pulled me toward a doorstep, and I almost answered it, until a hard voice struck first and sent me running. Since then, every offered hand becomes two things at once, a miracle I ache toward and a warning my body refuses to ignore. That is why I linger near porches without making a sound, because wanting love feels safer when nobody can hear you wanting it. I stand still so long that even my own legs shake. But silence is easier than hearing another door close because I came too near. Some nights I watch families through glass and wonder what it feels like to be expected, not tolerated, not chased, not brushed away. To be expected must feel different from surviving, because expected things get names, routines, soft places, and somebody who notices when they disappear. I have never had a name that stayed, only noises, shouts, and the quick language of feet that wanted the ground cleared. Maybe a name is just a small sound, but to me, it seems like a promise that someone intends to keep you tomorrow. On the coldest nights, I curl beneath engines gone quiet and pretend the leftover warmth means something in this world remembered me. But metal loses heat quickly, and pretending never lasts long enough to stop dawn from finding me stiff, watchful, and already preparing to hide. Morning makes me smaller, because daylight turns every alley into a test of distance, timing, escape routes, and whether human eyes have patience today. I learned early that being seen is not always lucky, because seen animals can be kicked, shouted at, cornered, or simply treated like dirt. So I mastered the art of becoming background, slipping beside walls, moving under shadows, and breathing softly enough to feel almost unreal. Yet, even background creatures can want impossible things. And I want the ordinary miracle of a dry floor, a full belly, and trust. My trust is harder to hunger for than food, because food can be stolen quickly. But trust asks your whole body to unclench. My body forgot that softness could be safe. So even when a gentle voice appears, my paws stay ready to flee first. Sometimes I step closer anyway, carried by a thin, reckless wish that maybe this time the hand reaching down will not become a blow. Then my ears catch one sharp note, one sudden movement, and all the old alarms return, louder than any hunger I brought there. That is the cruel shape of longing. It teaches me to walk toward comfort while teaching me, at the same time, to fear it. I do not need golden bowls or toys with bells. I need one place where relaxing does not feel like a mistake. A home, to me, is not luxury at all. It is the first corner where I would not have to listen for danger. And it is a mat that stays dry, a bowl that returns, a night without trembling, and a morning where hiding can wait. It is somebody opening a door without annoyance, as if my small arrival belongs naturally inside their evening, not outside begging it. Sometimes I picture myself on a quiet rug, not sleeping lightly, but sleeping deep enough to dream without one ear guarding everything. In that dream, I am still a cat of weathered alleys. Yet something changes because I no longer have to prove I deserve warmth. Maybe that is the deepest wound, not that I sleep cold, but that I began believing warm places were made for others. I know exactly what comfort looks like because I see it nightly, framed in yellow light, offered generously everywhere except to me. Seeing kindness from outside changes a creature because you stop thinking warmth is imaginary and start fearing that you simply do not deserve it. That fear keeps my voice trapped in my throat whenever I linger near steps, because asking aloud would mean risking a clear refusal. So I look instead, long and quiet, as if staring hard enough might let me borrow 1 second of someone else's belonging. I study the rhythm inside homes, the waiting, the returning, the calm between sounds. And I realize love has its own routine. Someone fills a dish before it is empty. Someone leaves space on a chair. Someone notices absence before night becomes too deep. I try to imagine being missed, and the thought itself feels larger than hunger, because hunger ends for a moment. But loneliness repeats. Loneliness is not only being alone, it is having nowhere that holds your shape after you leave, and nowhere that remembers you kindly. In the alley, every sound tells me what to avoid, but no sound ever tells me I am finally safe here tonight. Safety, I think, must be quieter than fear, because the safest creatures inside those windows are the ones who can sleep openly. I envy that open sleep, the kind where paws loosen, whiskers settle, and breathing deepens without interruption from rain, engines, or shouting. Even when I close my eyes, part of me stays standing, ready to bolt, because the street punishes animals who trust too completely. That is why a soft bed is not just softness. It is permission to stop rehearsing escape, at least for one night. Sometimes rain falls so hard that every hiding place leaks, and I wander shining streets searching for awnings, boxes, anything that holds. Those nights make yellow windows hurt worst, because the light looks dry, and dryness begins to feel like a form of love. I press beneath narrow ledges and watch curtains glow, telling myself I only need the storm to pass, not a life inside. But the lie never lasts, because storms end and I still remain outside, carrying the same wish into another night with me. The wish is embarrassingly small, which makes it feel even sadder, because I am not asking for much. Only gentleness that stays.
Come on in, kitty.
One
It's
person who
safe
does not
now.
wave me off could change the shape of my whole life more than 10 meals scattered carelessly.
I made some food for you.
Because food without safety disappears from the body quickly.
Come here, little one.
But kindness
It's okay.
given steadily teaches the body a new future can begin safely. I think that is why I keep returning to streets with homes, even after rejection, even after hunger, humiliation, and every frightened retreat. On some stubborn spark inside me still believes a closed world might open if I arrive quietly enough, patiently enough, harmless enough someday. So I practice being small, tucking my tail, lowering my eyes, softening every movement, as though perfect politeness might finally earn mercy. Yet mercy cannot be earned by shrinking forever, and I think some part of me is tired of apologizing for existing here. Maybe that is why I keep looking through lighted glass so boldly, because a creature near breaking sometimes becomes honest about what it needs. I need more than scraps, more than survival, more than another dawn where my first thought is where to hide from boots. I need a place where my body can learn that footsteps sometimes mean arrival, not attack, and voices sometimes call with love. And I need a space where waiting by the door is not desperation, but a sweet habit built from knowing someone always returns. I imagine being gathered into warm arms when winter sharpens, and even my imagination handles that tenderness like something fragile and unfamiliar. To be held would mean I no longer belong to the weather alone, no longer answer only to cold, puddles, and chance. It would mean the world contains one corner where my presence is not an intrusion, but part of the evening itself instead. I think strays like me become quiet not because we feel little, but because feeling too much has never been safe here. Still, every evening pulls me past those yellow windows again, as if hope has claws of its own and refuses surrender completely. I slow down near one house more than the others, though I never touch the step, and I never dare believe repetition might matter. The same yellow lamp glows there, the same quiet porch, the same faint scent of dinner, and my heart remembers before I do. I linger just beyond the light, not entering.
Here,
not
kitty,
leaving,
just come
caught between the ache to trust and the training to survive still. Maybe nobody inside notices me, yet I return as faithfully as prayer, because some hopes live longer when they are never spoken. Maybe somebody has noticed and is waiting for the right gentle moment,
I'll leave this open for
understanding
you.
that frightened creatures cannot be loved by force alone.
There's no hurry.
If that door ever opened for me, I do not think I would rush in. I would probably freeze first from disbelief. Because joy can terrify you when pain has trained your body to expect a trap inside every outstretched act of human kindness. But I think I would step forward after that. A one careful paw, then another, carrying all my gear with me inside anyway. And if no voice rose sharp behind me, if no hand struck, my whole life might change in one trembling breath there. I would learn the floor, the bowl, the scent, the safe distances, then slowly learn that I am allowed to stay too. Maybe I would sleep badly at first, waking often, checking doorways, startled by sounds that kindness had not softened yet for me.
Here's
But
your
patient
dinner,
love,
little
I
one.
think,
It's
is
safe
made of
now.
repetition.
Good
The
job.
same bowl,
you ate
the
it
same
all.
voice, the
I'll
same
just be
welcome
here.
offered without
You're all
impatience
right.
daily. Over time, even a frightened body begins believing what keeps happening. And maybe mine would finally unclench around a steady kindness too. Then yellow windows would stop being distant miracles because I would watch the street through them from inside, finally safe at last. I wouldn't be a shadow visiting warmth anymore. I would be the small life waiting by the door for footsteps returning. Perhaps that is all I have ever wanted. Not luxury, not endless food. Only one place where leaving is temporary for me. One place where cold weather does not decide my worth, and where my silence is answered with patience, not dismissal for once. One place where I can stop standing like I am about to be abandoned, because nothing around me is preparing to leave. Maybe then, when winter comes, I would finally know where to go without guessing, without begging, without pretending I do not care. Maybe then I would understand belonging is not a dream through glass, but a door that opened and let me stay inside. Until that night arrives, I keep walking beneath yellow windows, carrying one stubborn prayer that somewhere a warm light is meant for me.